In the deep heart of Africa, where the forest breathed like a living spirit and the rivers sang songs older than time, there lived two hunters, Kwame and Jabari. The two men had grown up together in the humble village of Olanjo, where every child learned to hunt before they learned to speak. Kwame was calm and thoughtful, the kind of man who listened more than he spoke. Jabari, on the other hand, was bold, quick to laugh, quick to fight, and quicker to dream of riches. They hunted together, ate together, and even shared their dreams beneath the same moon. 4 years. They lived by the rhythm of the wild, until they began hearing whispers about something that could change their lives forever. An old storyteller spoke of the golden elephant, a creature said to appear once every 100 years in the forest of Nkoru, deep beyond the lands of man. Its tusks were pure gold, and its blood was said to bless the one who captured it with endless fortune. But the elders always warned, he who hunts what belongs to the gods hunts his own death. Still, the temptation was too strong. One night by the fire, Jabari leaned close to Kwame. "Brother," he said, "what have these years of hunting given us? Just sweat and scars. But imagine what we could do with one tusk from that creature. We could build homes for our families, feed the village, and live like kings." Kwame frowned. "The stories say the golden elephant is sacred. It is not meant to be hunted." Jabari smiled, his eyes glinting in the firelight. "Stories are for the poor. Gold is for the brave." Kwame sighed, torn between reason and loyalty. In the end, his bond with Jabari was stronger than his fear. The next dawn, they gathered their spears, charms, and dried meat, and set off toward the forbidden forest. The road to Nkoru was cursed. The forest grew thicker, darker, and quieter the farther they went. They crossed rivers that glowed blue in the moonlight, fields filled with whispering spirits, and cliffs so high the clouds wrapped around their feet. On the 5th night, they heard a strange trumpeting sound, deep and sorrowful, echoing through the valley. "That's it," Jabari whispered excitedly. "We are close." Kwame's heart trembled. "I feel we are being watched," he said. The next day, they saw it. The golden elephant stood by a silver lake, its skin glowing with a light that made the air shimmer. Its tusks were radiant like molten sunbeams, and each step it took left golden footprints on the ground. Around it, birds sang songs no human had ever heard. Kwame fell to his knees. "It's real," he whispered. "We should leave. This is not ours to touch." But Jabari's breath quickened. "Leave? After coming this far? Do you not see, Kwame? The gods have blessed us." He raised his spear. "Jabari, don't!" Kwame shouted. "Some treasures are traps." But Jabari's greed had already consumed him. He hurled his spear straight into the elephant's side. The forest exploded with thunder. The trees bent backward, the wind screamed, and the ground split open. The elephant turned its glowing eyes toward them, and its voice rumbled like 1,000 drums. "You, man of greed, you have pierced the heart of innocence. You betray your brother for gold. From this day, your soul will carry the weight of your sin." A blinding light swallowed the forest. Kwame tried to run, but the earth cracked beneath his feet. He slipped and fell into a raging river, his cries fading into the distance. Jabari screamed for him, but it was too late. When the light dimmed, the elephant was gone. Only its blood remained, glimmering like liquid fire on the ground. And in the middle of it lay a single tusk, broken and heavy. Jabari picked it up with trembling hands. "I didn't mean to," he whispered, but his words were carried away by the wind. When Jabari returned to Olanjo, he told the villagers that Kwame had been killed by beasts. The people mourned for Kwame, but celebrated Jabari. He became famous overnight, the man who had brought home the golden tusk. The chief rewarded him with land, wives, and respect. Gold seemed to flow wherever he walked. But his nights were never peaceful. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw Kwame's face, wet, blooded, reaching out for help. And behind him, the glowing eyes of the elephant stared in silence. At first, Jabari tried to ignore the dreams. He threw parties, bought jewels, and surrounded himself with laughter. But as the moons passed, his riches began to fade. The tusk started to darken. His farms failed. His wives fled. And then his body began to change. His skin hardened, glittering faintly under the sun. His reflection in the river no longer showed a man, but something between flesh and gold. One night, driven by guilt and madness, Jabari took the blackened tusk and stumbled back into forest. The villagers followed his footprints for days but never found him. When the sun rose on the 7th morning, they saw something by the silver lake, a statue of solid gold, kneeling, its face twisted in agony, clutching a tusk. Some say it was Jabari. Some say it was the elephant's final curse. But the elders tell a different story, that on certain nights, when the moon burns red, two figures walk by the lake, one man with sorrowful eyes, and beside him, a glowing elephant. Together, they guard the forest, a reminder that greed destroys, but loyalty lives forever. Greed can blind even the closest heart, but true friendship never dies, not even in the shadows of betrayal.